Peter Lakai isn't just another name in New Zealand rugby. He's being talked about as the next big thing, the player who could lead the new generation of All Blacks dominance. Lakai's rise has been fast, powerful, and filled with moments that make you stop and realise just how special this young loose forward really is. At just 21 years old, he's already achieved things that many players twice his age only dream about. But his journey hasn't just been about natural talent. It's about relentless work, quiet confidence, and a deep drive to become one of the best in the world. Born on March 4, 2003, growing up in Wellington, Lakai first made his mark at St Patrick's College Silverstream, a school known for producing hard, disciplined rugby players who play with heart and aggression. From the moment he pulled on the jersey, it was clear that Lakai was different. Coaches noticed his combination of size, speed and intelligence, but it was his attitude that really stood out. He wasn't loud, he wasn't flashy, he was just committed. Week after week, he dominated at the schoolboy level, leading by example and proving he could handle pressure from a young age. Those who saw him play back then often described him as a man among the boys, not because of his physicality alone, but because of his maturity and composure on the field. After finishing school, it didn't take long for his professional world to come calling. Lakai made his NPC debut for Wellington Lions at just 18 years old, in an age when most players are still trying to figure out their next step. That 2022 season changed everything. In his first full campaign, he was a force of nature, leading the competition with 147 carries and ranking third overall in tackles with 139. For a teenager, those numbers were almost unheard of. His performances didn't just help the Lions, they lifted them. That year, Wellington stormed to both the Ranfurly Shield and the NPC Premiership, and Lakai's fingerprints were all over it. Fans started noticing him not just for his raw power, but for his consistency and heart. He wasn't one of those players who disappeared when the game got tough. He was always in the middle of the action, doing the hard work. In one stand-up match against Taranaki, he even scored a hat-trick, a moment that solidified his reputation as one of the most exciting young forwards in the country. But what made the performance even more impressive was how humble he remained afterward. Instead of talking himself up, he focused on the team's performance and how grateful it was just to contribute. That humility has followed him every step of his career, a trait that coaches and teammates constantly highlight when they talk about him. After dominating the NPC, the next steps were obvious: Super Rugby. The Hurricanes wasted no time in locking him down. First came a development contract in 2022, then a full Super Rugby contract ahead of 2023 season. At 186 centimetres tall and 108 kilograms, he had the physical build that modern rugby demands. But what really stood out to the Hurricane staff was his engine, his ability to play 80 minutes at full intensity without fading. It's that kind of endurance that separates good players from great ones. By the time 2024 rolled around, Lakai wasn't just part of the Hurricane setup. He was becoming one of their most important players. The club rewarded him with a contract extension through to 2027, a clear statement that they see him as a cornerstone for their future. That same year, the dream that every New Zealand kid grows up with finally becoming reality. Peter Lakai made his debut for the All Blacks, earning All Black cap number 1222. He joined a lineage of rugby legends who have worn the famous jersey in world sport. It was a proud moment not only for him, but for everyone who had followed his journey. From his days tearing up Wellington school fields to now representing his country at the highest level. For a player still in his early 20s, the call-up wasn't just recognition of his talent. It was validation of his work ethic, his discipline, and his readiness to perform on the biggest stage. Before that, he'd already made waves internationally with the New Zealand under-20s, even co-captaining the side at the 2023 under-20s World Championships. Leadership seemed to come natural to him, not through words, but through action. He didn't need to be the loudest voice in the room, his performances did all the talking. Those close to him often mention his calm, grounded nature off-field, describing him as a polite, respectful, and laser-focused on his goals. In a sport where distractions can easily derail young stars, Lakai managed to stay centred, a sign of both maturity and strong values. On the field, his strengths are impossible to ignore. He's a relentless ball carrier, constantly breaking tackles and gaining metres when his team needs it most. His tackle success rate sits among the best in domestic rugby, and he's known for his physical presence around the breakdown, low body position, quick reaction, and pure strength. He's also surprisingly agile for the size, able to shift direction and adjust in contact like a back. Whether he's playing an open-side flanker or number 8, he brings balance to the loose trio, mixing raw power with tactical awareness. Teammates describe him as a complete modern forward, someone who can smash into rucks one moment and link up an open play in the next. But what really sets Lakai apart is his mentality. Even when facing elite opposition, he doesn't back down. There's a quiet confidence about him, the kind that says, I belong here. It's the same energy that reminds many fans of greats who had come before him. Players like Adi Savea and Jerome Kainor, fierce competitors who'd led through impact rather than talk. Lakai grew up watching those players, and you can see the influence in how he approaches the game. Every run, every tackle, every moment seems to come with intent. Of course, every rising star has areas to improve, and Lakai is no exception. His youth is both a strength and a challenge. At 21, he's still building experience at the top international level, learning the subtle details that separate good test players from world-class ones. The jump from Super Rugby to Test Rugby is massive, especially in the loose forwards department where the competition is brutal. The All Blacks have long been stacked with world-class flankers and number 8s, meaning every opportunity must be earned and not given. For Lakai, that means continuing to refine his decision-making, improving breakdown discipline, and staying consistent under pressure. But if there's one thing to his career so far he has shown, it's that he adapts quickly. Every time he's been challenged to step up, he has. Off the field, Lakai carries himself with a calm humility that's rare in professional sport. He often speaks about family, faith, and gratitude, values that seem to anchor him. Coaches at both Wellington and the Hurricanes have praised not just his physical attributes, but his attitude towards learning. He's described as coachable, respectful, and obsessed with improvement. Those qualities are gold in a team environment. When you combine that mindset with elite athleticism, you get the kind of player who can shape a team's culture, not just through performance, but through example. Looking ahead, his potential seems limitless. With his Hurricanes contract locked in until 2027 and his first All Blacks caps already achieved, in the next few years will likely define his legacy. If he continues this trajectory, he could become a fixture in the All Blacks loose forward rotation for the next decade. And given his age, there's every chance he could be part of multiple World Cup campaigns. What makes that prospect even more exciting is how early he started, meaning he still has years of development ahead of him before he has even hit his physical prime. Peter Lakai's story is still being written, but every chapter so far points to greatness. From Silverstream school fields to Wellington roaring crowds, from NPC domination to international stage. He's proven that with hard work and focus, dreams can become a reality. His blend of power, precision, and humility makes him not just a player to watch, but one to believe in. And while the spotlight around him is only going to grow, you get the sense he'll handle the same way his defenders. Head on, fearless, and with quiet confidence. So what do you think? Is Peter Lakai the future of New Zealand rugby? Could he become the next dominant force in the black jersey? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Ever wanted to create your own rugby highlights channel just like this one? With my course, the YouTube Creator Toolkit, I show you exactly how I do it, from the tools I use to the templates I built. You get everything. Just copy, paste, and start creating. Learn how to grow your channel, keep viewers hooked, and turn views into income. Click the link in the description below to learn more and start your channel today. Now back to the video. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of rugby's most inspiring and rising stars, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more stories just like this. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace!